Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also, know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I look at everything, but we take a lot more time. Spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play those karmic themes, help you understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Right? There's many different realities that play out at one time. Why would we choose to live a reality that keeps us aggravated? We wouldn't. But, the universe brings us people to teach us, to help heal us, though it doesn't feel like that a lot of times. So, understanding why things happen allows you to see how you contribute to the imbalances and what you can do to shape shift the energy. But as I said, I do look at everything because we want to know what this person really feels and what they're going to do, even if we don't want to be with them. That's an important element. All right. Anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box. Shadow Healing Coaching will be back on Friday for the Virgos. And if you happen to miss it and you've signed up to subscribe, don't worry, you can always watch it later. All right. The word of the video is perseverance. We're going to pull another card, just go a little bit deeper. And sorrow. I feel as if like you're in connection with someone that just knows that you don't really have feeling for them anymore and that you're putting all your time, all your energy into yourself. And that no matter what happens, you're going to persevere. And I feel like this was a soul connection. And there was a time that this person really thought that I feel like that they were going to be able to affect you in a way that you wouldn't be able to just keep moving on. There's a sense that you keep moving on. I want to look and see what this person is doing now, because it's almost like, is there sadness pushing them to try to come back, to try and fix it, to persevere and to come back? Because part of me feels a little bit like that. You are the first thing on my mind when I wake up in the morning. And that's what I felt like. I feel like you're in connection with someone that didn't treat you right, but didn't realize that they didn't treat you right until after you were gone. They feel like they can be their true self around you. See, and I feel like, unfortunately, in the beginning, this person, because they were so comfortable with you, you didn't hold to any standard. They took it for granted. It's almost like they're used to people not treating them that well, like dating bitchy people or dating like assholes. So, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Almost, that's what I feel like. And this person was like, you know what? I was comfortable. This could have worked. I feel like they sabotage the connection because they run away to avoid facing their problems. So you guys had a dispute of some sort. And instead of this person wanting to deal with it, they avoided it. Thought the grass was going to be greener on the other side. I wish I could fix things between us. And that's why I said that, because it's like they know whatever they did was really harsh. I want to look at the spiritual cards. They're seeing signs and synchronicities like 111 and working out what they mean. I don't feel like this person is normally a spiritual person. There's someone that's very logical and analytical, but you make them like go into their intuition, the spiritual part of themselves, where I feel like they're looking for a sign. This person doesn't trust themselves. I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. What is going on in this person's life? So, feel like they have to come back to you. Like I said, I feel like this person made a bad choice. The grass was greener on the other side. So it's like, I don't really know how to fix this. I think that this person thought that you were going to be so tripped up by them not being with you and going with somebody else. And the fact that you're not affected is what's flipping them out and is what made them realize that they really have feelings for you. But their ego is fragile to criticism and rejection. So they've created a lot of walls to protect themselves. So I feel like this person has so much trauma around relationships or unsettled wounds, so that whenever you said something to them, they overreacted. And instead of them fixing it, they ran away, went to somebody else, thought the grass was going to be greener, thought that you would be devastated. You weren't devastated. Now they're realizing that they picked the wrong person and they're not happy where they are, but their ego is fragile, which means, and not until a person surrenders their ego do they really love you. Know that. If this person can stay away and be in their ego, it's like they want control, they want dominance. It doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, but more on a lower energy. Our inner guidance is clear, but our ego is resisting it. And that's what I'm saying. This person has feelings for you. There is an intuition, but they want the control. And you say, well, why? Well, because if they come back and to you and they apologize, then you have the upper hand in their mind. It doesn't mean that you do. That's not a normal relationship, by the way. But remember, this person only has toxic relationships, especially if they tend to navigate their relationships the way that they dealt with you. They've hurt you and they're sorry. They hope that you can forgive them someday and understand they were reacting from a place of fear. Again, they don't trust themselves because they base who you are on, on what's happened to them in the past and from their ego, looking at you through like their wounded self, and then they have to elevate who they are, see everything through the ego, want control to make themselves feel better. The universe brought us together for a reason, and they're trying to discover what these reasons are, because it's like it doesn't logically make sense to them, because now they're in a place of disequilibrium. Now they're unsettled because, hey, you're not acting like you're affected. You're going to persevere either way. You're not stopping for this person regardless. You're pouring your cup up all the way. And that's, like I said, this person thought that you were going to get tripped up, that you were going to be affected. We have past life connections. Memories are surfacing either consciously or unconsciously. So this person, there's a lot of deja vu, signs and synchronicities. I close my eyes and I imagine you're here with me. It feels so real. I'm beginning to understand what it means to be in the 5D with you. I told you that soul connection, ESP through the heart and mind, but this person is logical. They're analytical. I told you they weren't spiritual. You make them move into the spiritual realm because, hey, you're not around intuitively. They're trying to like sense what you're doing. And I know that that sounds stupid, but this person doesn't want you to really know how they feel, is what you see. Their ego is what's running the show. So you can feel like, oh, they have feelings, but what you're going to see is that they're going to hold back. They're going to resist it. And it's all because, again, I don't want to apologize, but that it has more to do about them not trusting who they are, not you. Our destiny is calling. Preparations are underway to take the next step. So it's almost like because you're persevering and you're doing something, you're on your path. And I feel like this person doesn't really have much of a passion, but when it comes to like who they are. And I feel like something that you're doing is, it's kind of exciting this person, something within maybe your work, your job. Some people are into philanthropy, helping the community, being of service somehow. And it's almost like this person is, again, more logical and analytical, and they need to be needed. And the problem is that you don't really need to be needed. So they're trying to figure out, and they're like, how they could help you in your job. Again, they need to move slowly with this, but trust that they're moving, even when it seems like they're not. This person is so up in their head, like too much thinking creates overstimulation, and this person has a block already. So it's like you're gonna feel like they move like molasses, because it's the overthinking, the not trusting. Love like ours can change the world, because this person still has feelings. I've never felt love like this before. The depths of it can be inspiring, but overwhelming, overstimulation for this person. Because again, overthinking. But you have to say, well, then what? Well, of course, what is it? I have sexual fantasies about you. And again, it's beyond physical attraction though, but it needs to be elevated. So again, it's on a low vibration. This person is just about lust. Remember, it's again that's how they wouldn't give you the time. And so, of course, when you're like, well, now you're pulling away because you're like, your movements are slow as molasses. You're like, I don't know. You're not capable of emotionally giving me. Understand, this person is moving into trying to give. It's a block. Like I said, it's a very uncomfortable for them. Understand, it's also going to trigger the shit out of you, because if you have wounds when it comes to not, having someone show up for you, emotionally be there for you, whatever it is, it's going to activate all those wounds, because that's what this person's doing. Now, divine relationships, usually start off this way. You're not getting the person 100% healed. Doesn't work that way. Now, if you attract someone that's on a high vibration, yeah, they can be like either on your vibration or a little bit higher and than your vibration, where you would actually have to catch up. This person, though, however, is on a little lower vibration. So you're the muse. Again, you're making them change. This is not something they wanted to do. This is something that they've tried to control. Their ego, they are holding back. They're still holding back. It's just getting harder for them to do it. But what is love? Love is God, and God says, I always win. The universe is an extension of my energy. So I will always get what I want. I collect the due. And that's the thing. That's part of the reason why this person doesn't want to come back to you, is they're mortified. They don't want to talk about everything that they did. They made a wrong choice. They left. They avoided to not fix this, and created such a mess out of the connection that it's like it would just be so much easier for you to come back. But it's like you're not doing that, and you don't act like you care. And again, the energy is getting less and less and less and less and less and less. And so it's giving this person anxiety. I feel abandoned. I often feel like others let me down. So it's again, but this person actually let you down. So, and that's the thing. Now, it could be that other people have let them down in their family, and this is why they don't really show up for people, and never learned how to have appropriate attachment style, where they're avoidant and they sabotage the connection because of it, because that's exactly what they did here. And then, which they don't have a right to be in their ego. They should be coming back and apologizing after what they did. But they don't want to talk about everything that they did. They don't know how much you know, how much you don't know. I'm not happy. Karma, behaviors, people, or situations of people are playing a role in what's happening with me. And it's hard for me to see a way out. Yeah, they made the wrong choice. I told you. And so it's like, and they saw I was comfortable with you. I was comfortable with you. Well, they shouldn't have stayed where they should have stayed with you. They should have worked it out with you. You don't know what you got till it's gone. I'm praying you'll come back after everything that's happened between us. I worry that you won't forgive me and allow me another chance. That's all we keep seeing through this thing. And so, you know, again, it just talks about how comfortable. It amazes me when we say the same thing or we think the same thing or can finish same sentence or just feel the same way. It's again, why did I do this? Why did I do this? They were in regret. Let's see, why did you do it? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm just curious. I feel like this person, was sold a pipe dream. The thing is, this situation right now is making them go through a transformation, whether they want to or not. Like, it's almost like it's crash and then burn. I feel like it's almost like I feel like this person just got carried away with it within their ego. It was really about power. I don't know if you can see that, but like power. It was about, you know, it was about being influenced by the wrong person, being dominated by whoever was in around them. So this could have been a karmic mate that they went back to. It could have been like they told a friend about the situation and that person also influenced them, saying don't go back to that person, go talk to this person. So it's almost like this person, just reacted, and instead of asking you and talking to you about it, they asked the wrong person and got bad advice. That's what it looked like. And then of course, was it the same person that gave them advice and that influenced them that had self gain? And it revealed, like I said, it revealed a lot of things to this person. But I just feel like this person, that whoever talked to them was wearing a mask, lied again, manipulated. I don't know whether it was a karmic or someone, but it was someone that was very close to them that did not want them to go back to you. I thought maybe they were benefiting somehow, but it doesn't really show that. What it shows is that, it was almost like your person got rebellious. They got triggered and they got rebellious. And then they just talked about it and somebody egged them on and they listened to that and they got too big for their britches. And now they're not happy because those same people that influenced them to stay away from you, well, guess what? They're karmic people. Because anybody that really would care would say, well, what really happened and what was your part to what you did, that this person's not talking to you, and what's most important to you? Is it to stay angry and fight, or is it to actually be in a relationship? Don't ever talk to them, egg them on more and more and more and more and more, but it was like a manipulative tactic. So when we say, again, what are they going to do? Not saying that you should go back to this person. When you say, again, there's a part of this person that's just in regret, and that they're moving on it, but they're moving like molasses. So I just wanted to pull one more. Finances are a problem right now. And of course, because like I said, there's karmic people in their environment, which again, I like, it could be a person that they made the wrong choice. I feel like they went to somebody that was a karmic that has too much power, too much say in their life now. I love you. Okay, but I mean, what are you going to do? They're jealous again, and whoever is with them is jealous and possessive of them. And I feel like they're getting a little jealous and possessive of you because again, they haven't tended to the garden per se. They haven't been there for you. They haven't nurtured you. They haven't given you love. They went to somebody else. And just because they're with somebody else doesn't mean that they're emotionally giving to that person. And that's what I feel that that karmic feels, that they're around them and that they're being controlled. But again, this is a twin flame connection, which obviously would have to do, and that they're so sorry. Kids, that's I don't see them doing anything right now because of that person. I feel like I'm not good enough for you. I wish I could take it all back. Like that's this person right now. They're in a place of regret. We really don't see them doing anything because I think that they don't know what to do. And part of that is because their ego is in the way. They're moving on it, but they're moving like molasses. So that's what's happening right now. So the best thing that you can say is, well, why did I attract this person into my life? You're a mirror of who and what comes into your life, right? So we always want to look at the inner child wound cards to see how that energy continues to play out. We want to stop the karmic looping because you don't want to keep attracting people that, can't show up for you, that when they get into an argument with you, they can't communicate. They're going to avoid, run away from you. I mean, that's very childish. And now they're wishing that they never did that. Because they did it so that you'd move closer. And guess what? You're moved like 1,000 feet back. Backfired. So if you're resonating, give the video a like. It draws a little attention. It's good. It's good karma. Be interactive. It's good for the channel. It's good for you. All right. So we look at the inner child wounds. And what we see here is shame and self-sabotage. Those two really jump out at me. And then you also have oppression. I hate this card because the person has like a foot on the kid's head. Space and frustration and play. So obviously, if there's shame could be inherited. It could also be being brought up by a parent that just anytime that you're bad, they shame. And so then what comes with shame is self-sabotaging behavior. People don't like who they are. They sabotage themselves. And so I feel like that's what happened. You were brought up in an environment where I don't believe that the person actually did that to you, but psychologically and emotionally you were oppressed and shamed. Again, felt to be like you were bad on some level, even though, and it could be my mother was just always in a bad mood, or they just didn't I never lived up to their expectations. I felt like I wasn't good enough. And, parents do the best that they can do. Unfortunately, a lot of times parents put a lot of expectations onto their children because they want the best for them. But in that, they oppress that child because every child has a unique unfoldment process. That happens when we're living life. Our intuition leads us to the people and to the situations, to the experiences that are going to change our mind and our heart. And we get our own ideas from there and develop our own unique individuality. But again, I feel like you were oppressed and instead you were told that you were bad. And that's where self-sabotaging behaviorism comes from. And then there's this feeling of, I'm not deserving of it, even though on some level you know that you're deserving of it, but you've been made to feel as if you're not deserving of it. And that's where the psychological trauma comes from. And then life becomes frustrating when you don't believe that you can have it. So your habits and your behaviorisms are going to be more in alignment with those beliefs. And so Spirit says, instead of going out and play, says there's a reason why it says be like childlike in the Bible, because children go out and they play, they find themselves, and they utilize whatever's in their environment to create themselves, to utilize the imagination. Because remember, the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. But if you were shamed and you were made to feel bad and the things that you were wanted to do, you weren't really able to do that. So we see a lot of open space, which is almost like, I don't remember my childhood, or I remember it, but I don't remember like ever like being really invested in anything, like having a real closeness, passion, really, because in this space is where we get to create our life. And we should do it through our passions for life. But if our parents made us feel bad because they didn't like what we were into, like, why are you listening to that crazy music? Why are you wearing those clothes? Why don't you do this, do that? Just being told always the best interest, not always, but most of the time, the parents have the best interest at hand, but they interfere with the child's development process, the unfoldment process. So, I mean, people are trying to be a lot more lenient these days, where back in the day, it wasn't like that. You were told and you were shamed if you didn't do what was expected. And so, there's a feeling, if the child feels like they were not really loved by their parents, or that they were loved, but they were a disappointment on some level, that's still the energy of fear. And that's what makes that imprint on the subconscious mind, where you attract people that emotionally can't show up for you. They don't give. And the reason why is because on some level you never got it. And that's the trauma. You're like, I didn't get it. My parent, like, again, they shamed me. They oppressed me. Didn't feel comfortable to be myself. Where spirit says again, that's, you have to give it to yourself first. Because again, that trauma is what is radiating out, and that you'll attract people to you that can't show up for you. That's why it's an inside job first. So that happens through the transmutation process. We have to transmute the negative energy. We can't just get rid of negative energy. We have to embody a whole other consciousness. What it was here was to be oppressed and self-sabotage. That's not obviously the most positive energy, clearly. So spirit says, first and foremost, go into uncharted waters, evoke your curiosity, find yourself, have a love affair with yourself. It's like go with the confidence, but you don't really know 100% of who you are if you weren't allowed to create yourself when you were younger. There's things that you would love if you just had the opportunity to explore. You'll meet new people that will treat you the way that the way that you're treating yourself today, not those wounds of the past. When you invest in yourself and when you venture into uncharted territory, you're going to be led through your intuition. You're going to be led, and when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You'll find whatever it is that stirs up your soul, that you become passionate about, so you can actually see beyond the illusion. And the illusion is, maybe I'm not deserving of it, or I can't have love, or it doesn't really ever work out for me. Whatever that illusion is, which, because God says that's impossible, because you are the energy of love, because I'm the energy of love, and spirit's inside of you, and that's the energy of love. There is no separation. The illusion is that you can't have it because that person made you feel that way. But that's an illusion. It's not real. Release control, have unshakable faith, trusting yourself in your path in the universe, that God knows what you want more than you know what you want. The universe also knows exactly what it needs to get you to what you need, what you want to manifest and what you need to manifest for yourself. And it all happens in divine timing. It's not up to you and how you get there. Spirit says, because sometimes you need healing first. Clearly, you needed healing first. Spirit says there wasn't enough of you because you were suppressed. And then you're going to go and give so much time and energy to this person thinking that they're emotionally going to give you what you deserve. Like, no, they're not going to do that. You have to do it for yourself. Otherwise, you'll never get your turn. We don't get up and ask for greatness. We just get up and take it. Because if you're waiting for someone to give it to you, they'll never give it to you. And so it's all about understand, you know, there's other things. There's boundless opportunities, and so you have to fulfill your promise to yourself first. And that's what do I want? What to do with my life? What's going to fulfill me within my life? It's like there's a lot that you can't control in life, but you can control, what you want to do with your spare time. And that should be things that are going to fulfill you, because when you get fulfilled with that emotional energy, then what happens is you're a magnet for that energy. Not that you're in a desert and depleted and haven't had, and you're starving for a glass of water, and you're just going to see mirages everywhere. It's not going to be real. It's like because we see what we want to see when we're depleted. And so Spirit says you have to do it for yourself. That's why. And there's a whole other life out there, so rise above, it's again, see things from a new perception. It's again that there's many different realities that play out at one time. It's going to be what helps you transform, because that's really what it is. Healing is seeing a different perception of your situation or yourself. But you have to go through similar experiences, but deal with it differently. The karmic loop was just dealing with it where, well, I'm going to be naive and trust that this person, when really, again, you were in a desert. They were a mirage. They weren't 100% who they said. It's like you gave this person a lot more credit than what they deserved. It's like it's not saying that they don't want to come back and fix it. It's not about that. Because even if this is a twin flame connection, you're not meeting that person a lot of times when they're ready to be with you in the beginning of a twin flame connection. There's always a runner and a chaser. It's always a lot of bullshit. It's like it's not an easy relationship. And that happens because, again, the environments that you both grew up in, what you both were taught. So both of you do a lot of work in separation. And Spirit says, I need you to go out into the world, evoke your curiosity, make sure that this is really what you would even want. And then understand if you're in the passion for life, then you're going to make this person rise to where they would need to be to, emotionally give to you. You're not just so available because this person doesn't know. You got to use your passions to fight for what you believe in, to stand your ground. Why? Because it's your choice of focus. People will always try and emotionally manipulate you. But again, if you're emotionally taking care of yourself, well, then again, you got something to work with. You alchemize the energy, and that's what we're here to do. Alchemize the energy, turn the adversity into positivity, turn pain into power, see yourself differently. That's really what the transformation process is. And Spirit says, you still need to live a little bit. Go out and play. Let this person really freak out and think that they lost you. It's again, they went to somebody else. If this relationship would even have a chance, you would have to do that. Because otherwise you'd just be like, well, you did that to me. When meanwhile now you're unsure. Let this person chase. Because then you'll know whether you really want, because you'll have a lot of other options. We leave off with manifestation of light. See the beauty in yourself. Grow and develop your inner self in harmony with light and beauty. Free yourself from negativity. Your heart transforms, intellect shines, and your inner light grows. And this is really what Spirit's saying. It's like this person did help you manifest. But I feel like you're helping them too, manifest into a better version of themselves, like this person pushed you too because they weren't giving you anything. And so, you decided to give it to yourself to the point that this person's like, you're not affected. So of course, the person acts like they're not affected, the avoidant is going to come running. So it's not about just giving back and being so friendly. Understand? And with some level, you got yourself into that mess by being too kind, too nice, too giving. The Spirit says you can still be nice and polite, but don't give them that much time. It's how much time you give a person. Remember, you're the magician of your life. So, your tools, you have all the tools that you need to manifest. The magician tells us that. However, if you're not utilizing your tools properly, you can waste your time. If you're using your tools, then this person has to fight to actually come into your life, and that makes them open up their heart. This person had a closed heart, and so again, you're making them change. Healing doesn't feel good. People don't volunteer to heal. I'm going to leave that there. I talk to you guys soon. Let me know if you resonated. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.